What if I told you the most powerful thing you could ever say to a woman is nothing at all? What if silence, pure, stone-cold silence, wasn't weakness, but the deadliest move you could make? Here's the truth most men never hear. Begging, explaining, chasing. None of that gets her back. It only confirms what she already believes, that she has power over you, that you need her to feel like a man. Nope. The second she walks away, you don't fight for her, you fight for yourself. No contact isn't some childish game to make her miss you. It's the reset button on your identity. It's how a broken man becomes dangerous again. You want to know what really messes with her head. When the man she expected to be shattered goes silent, when he doesn't watch her stories, doesn't text her, doesn't break down. That's silence. That's not you being cold. That's you becoming untouchable. And the second she realizes she can't reach you anymore, that's when regret creeps in. Because women don't fear losing love. They fear losing control. This is about a man who got blindsided. A good man. Loyal, present, maybe even too present. He showed up, gave his best, and she walked anyway. Thought the grass was greener. Thought he'd beg. She underestimated him. And now she'll learn that losing a man who knows his worth is the kind of pain that shows up at 2 a.m. when her phone's on 1% and you're not answering anymore. No contact isn't revenge, it's revelation. It reveals who she really is and who you were meant to become. This is the moment you stop being emotional. You stop trying to make her understand. You stop leaking power. And you go silent. Not because you're weak, but because you're done handing out explanations to people who don't deserve access. So don't text her. Don't watch her life through a screen. Let her wonder. Let her spiral. And let this be the chapter where you rise. Because when you master your emotions, when you embrace stoic indifference, you become the one thing she didn't expect, free. If you're done playing the fool, if you're ready to go silent and sovereign, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. My silence is my power. Now let's begin. Number 1. Silence screams louder than words. When she left, she expected noise. She expected chaos, drama, a meltdown. She thought you'd call 100 times, blow up her DMs, beg her to talk, to explain, to reconsider. That's the move she trained for. The one she's seen before. She wanted that final ego boost, proof that she was unforgettable, that you were lost without her. But you gave her nothing, just silence. And that wasn't part of her plan, because silence isn't emptiness. Silence is pressure. Silence is power. When you say nothing, you're not giving her what she craves. Tension. And when attention dries up, doubt starts to flood in. She's left alone in the echo chamber of her own decisions, and suddenly the breakup doesn't feel as clean as she imagined. She starts to wonder, was he really that calm? Why hasn't he reached out? Is he already with someone else? This is where the dark psychology kicks in. The second you stop reacting, you shift the dynamic. Now she's thinking about you. Your silence forces her to face the void. And that void, that's where your power lives. A man who doesn't plead, doesn't chase, doesn't explain, that man is dangerous because he's not trying to be heard. He's not trying to win her back. He's letting go. And in that letting go, he becomes the man she never really knew until he was gone. Stoicism teaches one of the coldest truths about life. The only real control you have is over yourself, your reactions, your discipline, your decisions. And when you walk away in silence, you are saying with every breath, I am not for sale anymore. That kind of stillness is magnetic, because it doesn't come from pride, it comes from power. While she's watching your last story on repeat, scanning every post for a hidden message, you're building, quietly, coldly, with purpose. You're not checking her page, not liking her pictures, not playing the game. Because you are the one who ends games now. Your silence is the lesson she never thought she'd have to learn. She thought she'd have time. She thought you'd be an option forever. But now, her calls are unanswered. Her messages are left on read, or never even seen. And that absence, that unbothered energy, That's what lingers in her mind more than any apology ever could. This is the new you, stoic, grounded, clear. You don't scream, you don't post quotes, you don't explain yourself, you just go ghost. And that silence? That's her worst nightmare. If you're done explaining yourself to people who walked away, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. She lost access, not value. Number 2. Stop explaining yourself. She left. Whether she said it directly or just drifted away, the message was clear. You're not what I want right now. And what's the first thing most men do? They start writing paragraphs, trying to unpack what went wrong, trying to prove they're worth a second chance, trying to explain themselves into being loved again. But here's the hard truth. The second you start explaining, you've already lost. Because now you're seeking her approval to validate your reality, and that's not power, that's submission. Nope. Stop explaining yourself. You don't owe her a breakdown of your emotions. You don't owe her clarity, closure, or a clean ending. She made a decision. Let her sit in it. You think explaining will bring understanding. It won't. It only gives her more information to devalue you. Every message you send post-breakup says, I'm still emotionally available for you to reject. Women don't regret men who explain. They regret the ones who vanish with quiet certainty. You want to know what haunts them. When the man they thought they figured out doesn't play the role they cast him in, when he doesn't beg, doesn't argue, doesn't break character, when he just disappears like a shadow and she can't read him anymore. That's the weapon of stoicism. Reason over reaction. You don't owe your peace to someone who broke it, and if she really cared about your perspective, she would have asked for it before leaving. But she didn't. She walked, and that walk was her explanation. Dark psychology flips the script. Every unanswered message, every moment of silence creates uncertainty. Now she's the one trying to make sense of it. Was he ever that into me? Why didn't he fight for me? That overthinking loop, that's where the real regret is born, and it only happens when you stop handing out emotional essays. Here's what Stoic men understand. People make decisions. You respect them. Not because they're right, but because you're done explaining yourself to people who made up their mind. You keep walking. And your silence tells her everything she needs to know, without giving her the satisfaction of closure. Let your actions be your final statement, and let your silence be your boundary. Because when you stop explaining, you stop bleeding. You stop justifying your worth to someone who clearly couldn't see it. If you're done seeking permission to move on, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I owe no one an explanation. Number 3. Emotions are liars. Facts are freedom. Right after the breakup, your mind goes to war with itself. One part of you knows she walked away, but the other part, the emotional part, still clings to the fantasy. You replay memories. Imagine her coming back. Try to convince yourself it was all a misunderstanding. You start negotiating with your own pain. But here's what Stoicism teaches. Emotions lie. They distort. They dramatize. They take a temporary feeling and convince you it's forever. You feel like you lost something priceless. But let's get brutally honest. What did you really lose? Someone who left. Someone who saw your loyalty and still walked. That's not love. That's not partnership. That's a lesson. And the sooner you face the facts, the sooner you break free. The fact is, she didn't value you enough to stay. The fact is, you gave her space, effort, commitment, and she still turned her back. The fact is, if she was meant for your future, she wouldn't have run from your present. That's reality. And facts don't care how hurt you feel. See, emotions want you stuck. They want you checking her stories, imagining her with someone else, replaying the last words she said. But facts free you. They tell you, she's gone. You're still breathing. What's next? That's where your power starts to return. Dark psychology knows this. People who can't manage their emotions are easily controlled, and the second she knows you're still emotional over her, she owns the frame. She can breadcrumb you, string you along, keep you on emotional life support. But when you switch from emotion to logic, when you look at the situation with cold clarity, everything changes. She loses control, and you gain composure. Stoicism isn't about feeling nothing. It's about acting only on what matters. You feel the pain, but you don't chase it. You don't feed it. You let it burn, and you let it pass. Because you understand the most dangerous man is the one who's emotionally disciplined. Not because he's numb, but because he refuses to be manipulated. So when those feelings rise up, and they will, don't follow them. Observe them, study them. Let them teach you something, but never let them make your decisions. Because the truth is, your emotions don't define reality. Your response to reality does. If you're done being controlled by feelings instead of truth, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. Facts over feelings, always. Number 4, rejection is a mirror, not a verdict. Rejection stings. It's one of the rawest, most ego-shattering feelings you can experience. When she leaves, it feels personal, like a direct attack on your worth. And in that pain, it's easy to start thinking, what's wrong with me? Why wasn't I enough? But here's the truth. No one tells you. Her rejection wasn't a verdict on your value. It was a reflection of her perception. And perception is always limited, biased, and often broken. See, rejection isn't proof that you weren't good enough. It's proof that you were not aligned with what she thought she wanted at that moment. That's it. And guess what? People don't always want what's good for them. People chase chaos. People run from stability. People make fear-based decisions and later regret them. That's not your fault. That's not your burden to carry. When she left, she didn't expose your flaws. She exposed her lens. She revealed how she sees love, how she handles pressure, how easily she walks away from someone who showed up for her. And that right there, that's the mirror. Her leaving wasn't about you being unworthy. It was about you no longer fitting into her idea of control, validation, or convenience. Stoic wisdom teaches us this. External events, like rejection, are neutral. It's your judgment that makes them good or bad. So when she walked away, you had a choice. Believe the lie that you weren't enough, or understand that she simply didn't recognize the value you bring. And that's fine. Not everyone has the eyes to see a real one. This is where dark psychology steps in. When you internalize rejection, you chase, you obsess, you try to prove you're valuable. But when you see rejection as data, not identity, everything shifts. You don't chase, you observe, you study the pattern, you upgrade yourself, not for her, but for your next level. And that quiet evolution, that's what she'll feel, but never fully understand. She may come back, most do, but by then, you'll be too sharp to fall for it. Because the man who uses rejection as fuel doesn't stay stuck. He becomes rare, focused, untouchable, and women don't forget the ones who rise without them. So next time you feel that sting, don't shrink. Stand taller. That wasn't a bullet to your heart, it was a mirror to your mind. Look into it, learn from it, and level up. If you're done taking rejection as proof instead of perspective, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. Rejection refined me. Number 5. Obsession is self-betrayal. Let's call it what it is. Obsession. Constantly thinking about her, wondering what she's doing, who she's with, if she misses you, checking her profile, overanalyzing her silence, playing back conversations like they hold some secret code. That isn't love. That's self-betrayal. And every time you give into it, you bleed a little more of your dignity. You weren't put here to orbit someone who walked away, but obsession tricks you into believing there's still something to fix, something to chase, something to win. Nope. The moment you start obsessing, you hand over your inner world to someone who already let you go. That's the truth. Obsession is giving loyalty to someone who isn't even thinking about you. And that's not strength. That's slavery. Stoic men don't chase what's already gone. They don't bargain with reality. They accept it, absorb the blow, and redirect that energy inward, because every second you think about her, that's a second you're not building. That's time, focus, and power being wasted on someone who chose to subtract themselves from your life. She made a decision. You honor it by letting her feel the full weight of your absence, not by clinging to the idea of her. Here's what dark psychology understands. Obsession is visible. You can feel it through the screen. You can smell it in the messages. And nothing repels someone faster than energy that says, I need you to feel okay. Want to be remembered? Detach. Want to be respected? Go silent. Want her to feel your absence? Start treating her like she no longer exists in your emotional universe. You don't need revenge. You need restraint. You need to understand that chasing what's left is the fastest way to stay stuck. And when you stop betraying yourself for the fantasy of her return, you become a man who commands his own gravity. The Stoic doesn't beg the storm to stop. He stands still until it passes, because he knows chasing the wind only makes him look foolish. So stop obsessing, stop replaying, stop shrinking. Every time you think about her, remind yourself, you are not someone to be begged for. You are not someone to be overlooked. You are the prize, and you only lose when you forget that. If you're done betraying yourself in the name of obsession, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I choose peace over fixation. Number 6. Detachment triggers desire. Here's what flips the game completely. The moment you no longer care is the moment she starts to. When she left, she thought you'd wait, thought you'd crumble, thought you'd hang on to hope, check your phone at midnight, maybe even keep tabs on her through mutual friends. But when you detach, fully detach, that's when something shifts in her. Suddenly, her ego doesn't get fed. Her control evaporates, and that silence she thought she wanted, it starts to suffocate her. Detachment isn't coldness, it's clarity. It's understanding that your worth is not tied to her presence. And when you reach that state, when you can look back without craving, when you can breathe without bitterness, that's when she feels the void you used to fill. See, it's not the attention that makes you attractive, it's the lack of it. When you no longer need to be seen, you become unforgettable. Dark Psychology 101. Unpredictability creates tension. When she can't read you, when she can't feel your energy chasing her anymore, her mind turns on itself. Did he move on? Is he seeing someone else? Why doesn't he care? Those questions echo louder than anything you could ever say. She doesn't miss you. She misses the control she had over you. And detachment strips her of that power. Stoic men master this early. Control is not about clinging. It's about letting go. The man who can walk away, who can burn the bridge and never look back, holds all the leverage. He becomes mysterious, focused, magnetic. He becomes the man she thought was just an option until he made himself unavailable. Here's the paradox. The less you need her, the more she wants to feel needed. Not because of love, but because of power. Your detachment threatens her sense of significance. And when you stop reacting, stop reaching, stop responding, you force her to look inward. And that's where discomfort lives. That's where regret starts to grow. This is not about getting her back. This is about becoming the kind of man who never chases someone twice, because you understand your value. Because you understand the moment you detach is the moment you start pulling everything back into your orbit. If you're done feeding what walked away, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below, I attract by letting go. Number 7. Focus on empire, not emotion. You want revenge, building, you want to get even, evolve, not by sending texts, not by waiting for her to realize what she lost. Nope. The real win isn't proving anything to her. It's proving to yourself that you never needed her in the first place. While your heart was breaking, your purpose was waiting. While you were stuck in emotion, your empire was starving. Here's the shift. Every second you think about her is a second you're not building you. That obsession could have been discipline. That pain could have been muscle. That heartbreak could have been a foundation. She walked out, and now you walk in, to your own life. That's what Stoic power looks like. You don't collapse. You construct. Think about it. Who are the most desired men? The ones who are lost in their feelings, or the ones who disappear only to re-emerge stronger, sharper, wealthier, colder? The ones who turned pain into purpose? She doesn't watch for your "I miss you" text. She checks to see if you're doing better without her. And when she sees you thriving, not just surviving, that's when the silence hits different. That's when the regret starts to bloom. This is where most men fail. They think healing is passive. It's not. It's aggressive. It's war. Every rep at the gym, every book you read, every late night grinding on your craft, that's all strategy. That's all part of becoming a man who no longer needs to heal, because he rebuilt himself stronger than before. Stoicism doesn't say, don't feel. It says, don't be ruled by what you feel. Emotion is a wave. Purpose is the shoreline. If you let the wave crash into you without anchoring to something greater, you drift. But when your mind is set on mission, when your focus is legacy, she becomes a chapter, not the whole story. You are not here to obsess over who left. You are here to build something so powerful, so rare, so unshakable, that people regret ever underestimating you. Your time is your empire. Your energy is your currency. Spend both on what multiplies you, not on what broke you. If you're done wasting energy on people instead of purpose, hit that like button. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. I build while others break. Number 8. The scar is the lesson. You want to heal? Then stop trying to erase the scar. That scar, the pain, the betrayal, the silence after she left, that's the lesson. That's the moment everything changed. Most men try to numb it, drown it in distractions, pretend it never happened. But Stoic men? We study the scar. We let it speak. Because every scar is a receipt for pain survived and power gained. She hurt you. Let's not sugarcoat it. She left. She made you feel replaceable. And yeah, it shook your soul. But now, you have two options. You either let that scar rot into resentment, or you forge it into wisdom. The difference between the man who stays broken and the man who becomes unstoppable is how he interprets the wound. Stoicism doesn't preach denial. It preaches integration. You don't run from pain. You walk through it with eyes open. You feel the fire and let it refine you. Not just emotionally, but mentally, spiritually. You become a man who doesn't avoid suffering. He uses it. He turns heartbreak into hunger, loneliness into leadership, loss into leverage. Dark psychology knows this. Pain creates depth. Most people avoid it, so they stay surface level forever. But the man who embraces his scars, who wears them not as shame but as symbols of survival, that man has presence, gravity, energy that commands attention without saying a word. Because people can feel when you've been through the fire and didn't flinch. She thought she broke you. Let her think that. Because by the time she realizes that pain didn't destroy you, it designed you, you'll be 10 levels above who she left. And when she sees that, she won't just regret leaving, you'll make her regret ever thinking she could come back. You want to rise? Then stop asking, why did she do it? And start asking, what did this teach me? That scar is your trophy. That scar is your shield. It's not the sign that she hurt you. It's the mark that you survived what was meant to destroy you. If you're done hiding your scars and ready to learn from them, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below, my pain made me priceless. Number 9. She returns to what she can't control. Here's the twist no one tells you. She always circles back. Maybe not today, maybe not next month, but it happens. And not because she suddenly realizes your worth. Nope. It's because you became what she never thought you could be. Untouchable. Emotionally locked down. Unavailable. Focused. You became a man she no longer has access to. And that kind of man? That's rare. That's magnetic. That's a problem. For her. Women rarely regret the breakup when you're begging. They regret it when you go silent and never look back. when you stop checking her stories, when you stop reacting, when you don't try to prove anything. She starts to wonder, did I misread him? Did he really move on? Is he done with me for good? That uncertainty, that's the poison she poured into you, now served back, ice cold. Dark psychology teaches this truth. People crave what they can't predict, what they can't control. And when you go from emotionally available to emotionally unbothered, the power shifts. You become an enigma, and that mystery will eat her alive, because the part of her that once felt powerful over you now feels powerless without you. Here's what Stoicism adds to the formula. Indifference is not hatred, it's freedom. You're not angry, you're not bitter, you just genuinely don't need her anymore. And that kind of emotional sovereignty, that's what brings them back. Not because you chased, not because you played games, but because you grew so far beyond the old version of you, she doesn't even recognize the man you've become. And if she reaches out, it won't feel like a victory. It'll feel like a reminder. A reminder of who you were when you still thought her approval mattered. A reminder that she left, and you lived, thrived, built. That her leaving was the ignition switch to a level of growth she was never equipped to handle. So if she comes back, don't see it as validation. See it as confirmation. You became uncontrollable, and people always return to what they once controlled, but no longer can. If you're done being someone she can predict, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. She can't reclaim what she abandoned. Number 10. No contact is for you, not her. Let's end this with the truth that sets everything straight. No contact was never about her. It wasn't some clever move to make her miss you. It wasn't a reverse psychology trick. And it definitely wasn't about getting her back. No contact is the moment you stop playing the game altogether. It's when you stop making her the center of the story and you start living your life again. It's not punishment. It's protection. When she walked away, she expected you to stay emotionally invested. She expected you to watch from a distance, to linger in her digital shadow, to keep checking in from time to time. But no contact is how you reclaim your identity. You go ghost, not to make a statement to her, but to rediscover your voice without her. Because this was never about winning her attention. It was about cutting the cord and finding clarity in the silence. You want to know when you really win. Not when she texts you again, not when she says, "I miss you." You win when you see her name pop up on your phone, and you feel nothing. No anxiety, no rush of excitement, just stillness, neutrality, peace. That's when you know you didn't just survive her, you outgrew her. No contact is your healing ground. It's the gym for your mind. It's the moment where your obsession breaks and your purpose wakes up. And when you finally understand that it was never about getting her back, but about getting yourself back, the whole game shifts. You stop reacting, you stop hoping, you start building. Stoicism is about choosing discipline over impulse, silence over chaos, progress over pain. You're not cold, you're clear. You're not angry, you're aligned. That's what no contact gives you. Space to rebuild without interference. Space to transform into the man who doesn't need validation from the one who walked away. And if she comes back, that's not your reward. That's her consequence. Because no contact didn't punish her. It protected you from giving your heart to someone who didn't know how to hold it. So stay silent, stay focused, stay disciplined. Because this wasn't about her in the end. It was always about you becoming who you were meant to be. If you're done trying to be chosen and ready to choose yourself, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below. No contact saved me. You've been lied to, conditioned to believe that being a man means chasing, pleading, explaining, proving your worth to someone who walked away. But now, you know better. You've seen what silence does. You've felt what detachment builds. You've learned that no contact isn't a tactic, it's a transformation. She thought she broke you, but really, she just revealed you. The pain wasn't the end, it was the beginning. The start of a version of you that no longer begs to be chosen. because he's too focused on choosing himself. That's the Stoic blessing. That's the strategy she never saw coming. This isn't about bitterness. This is about boundaries. This is about becoming the kind of man who's so centered, so grounded, so focused, that people feel your absence more than they ever valued your presence. You don't just go no contact. You go silent, go strong, go sovereign. So the next time you feel that urge to break, to reach out, to check in, don't. You're not that man anymore. That man died the day she left. And the man who took his place, he doesn't chase, he creates, he leads, he rises. You're not looking for closure. You are the closure.